Hello there, Site 42 staff, as well as those of you from the greater SCP Foundation community. And welcome to another Coffee Break with Dr. Sherman, a subsidiary of the anomalous broadcast from Site 42. As always, I am Dr. Theron Sherman, Site Director here at Site 42 of the SCP Foundation. And as I have done for the last 10 months and counting, because the daily stream streak must remain strong, I'm here to open my office door to you, the SCP Foundation staff, to answer your burning questions about this dark and mysterious place of employment we call the SCP Foundation. So whether you have questions about the anomalies we contain, the staff who contain them, the groups of interest who try to stop us from containing them, or hypothetical containment procedures about anomalies that fall outside of the SCP Foundation's purview, perhaps they're from a different multiverse or pataphysical narrative level, i.e. fandom. We are here for the next 1 hour, 90 minutes if we're feeling zesty, because even before our housekeeping, I must admit, I kinda feel like trash today, staff. It's not any one thing. It's just a little bit of bad juju in the world, I think. As much as I have fun dunking on the chuds on SCP Facebook, that many assholes in a row is a lot to emotionally deal with, even for someone as inoculated as it against I am, due to my position having done this for a while. It gets tiring. That, and there's a lot of just the world now, things going on. You going up and down. You can't always be at 100%, and that is fair to be. It's fair for me to admit. And so, I'm still here. The streak remains strong. I'm just a little ass right now. I just feel like a little ass right now. And so we're going to do a little stream. We're going to have a good time. Hour if I'm feeling ass the whole time. I'll go to 90 minutes if we're feeling zesty, but I think that's about all I'll have in me today. Now, as for the official housekeeping. Lucas the intern, thank you for your exceptional #1 punctuality for today's stream, i.e., congratulations on being first chatter. As well, Amber, Stephen Tambari, Titanborn, Not a Chaos Insurgency Spy, Rave Haven, Captain Evil Greasy John, Tyrone's Creations, it's been a while, I hope you've been doing well. I think I said Stephen Tambari, Terragal, T Kettle, Dr. Darkstar, Dr. Frogman, everyone who I have just named, thank you for being here punctually, and thank you for being here as members of Site 42 on YouTube. We appreciate your membership and your service. Furthermore, Avari, Plague Doctor, Quinny, Rake, and Mystic Flower, thank you for being here punctually, and thank you for being here today, just for being you. Furthermore, today's stream is sponsored. Today's stream is sponsored by the SCP Store, where we have the Site 42 merchandise, where the real money from the YouTube channel is made, if some of you are old enough for that reference. So whether you want a Dr. Spanko sweater or an SCP-076 codename Abel mug, we have all sorts of SCP Site 42 merchandise at the SCP Store as well as merch from other SCP content creators. So, thank you to the SCP store for handling the merchandise side of things, so I don't have to worry about it too much. And thank you to those who purchase Site42 merch to support the channel. Furthermore, not just supporting Site42, remember that we have a couple of Kickstarters live right now, not for us, but for SCP community projects. And so, right now, Eye of the Beholder Season 1, an SCP original audio podcast narrative, an original narrative in the SCP Foundation universe about Site, I believe it's 29, yes, Site 29, an anomalous, a very heavily anomalously staffed site. There is some yaoi in there. Apparently SCP-4051, codename Rainer Miller, your friendly neighborhood Keter, is going to make an appearance. This sounds pretty good from episode 1 that I've heard. I would like to see the rest of the season, but the Kickstarter at the halfway point is not faring very well. I hope that we make it to the end so that they can make their project and therefore be able to have the experience, networking, and resources to make further big projects. So don't sleep on the small projects, guys. We got to support the small ones as well. That said, we do have a big one as well. SCP Gallionic, the SCP anime, is almost to its 15-minute iteration. Remember, we need to keep going to get to the 20-minute iteration, so keep up the good work spreading that. That gained another $10,000 since we last talked about it yesterday, so it's a doing all right. But let's not rest on our laurels. We got to keep going. Mobile Task Force Site42, you have your orders. If you have not donated to those Kickstarters, I highly recommend and ask that you do so. If you have donated to Kickstarters, I highly ask and recommend that you share them everywhere. That way, we get more and more SCP projects, which means bigger and better ones as more people come into the community, more talented artists. We farm our own artists, inspiring them by making these projects. So the more you help out Mobile Task Force Site42, codename Signal Boosters, the more I salute you. Over and out on that front. Silent Follower, thank you for the cat ear surprise. I barely managed to keep my composure to finish that outro before you saw that. Oh boy. Now, the last piece of our stream subject before we get into general Q&A is Jingle Jangle, Jingle Jangle, the Backrooms. It's your favorite, as our friend from afar, Markiplier, would say. Yesterday, we had a promo image from the Backrooms movie being produced by A24, but today, we have a trailer. And before I go to this trailer, actually, I did see something I want to say here. Kind of wish the SCP anime was an actual series. Detective Gamer Treg, do not get down and out about that. Remember, this is the first SCP anime project with a full production value to be made. Yes, we had things in the past like Confinement or other, the content farms. But this is the first full-bore thing. If they can make this, and, if this singular short performs well on YouTube, if it gets some donations, because remember, they're going to be asking for donations as well as the ad revenue from YouTube, because the ad revenue from YouTube will never be enough to make their full series. But if we support them now, while they're small, while they're getting things together, you're damn right if it succeeds, then they will make a series. But we can only commit them to the first episode to see if it will work. So trust me on this. They want to make a series. I want them to make a series. I want to have a cameo role in their series. I want to be in there. But first we have to do step one. So let's not get ahead of ourselves. A big problem with SCP movies and anime and things like that is that creators who have never worked in the industry before get so far out over their skis that they end up failing completely, crashing and burning, because they did not plan small at the start. You notice, I'm not making an SCP movie or show yet, because what I'm doing right now, Site42, is creating scaffolding, creating Mobile Task Force Psi-42 codename Signal Boosters, creating a machine that can bring funding in, not just to me, but to other projects. The more we all build scaffolding, the more that these projects will have the proper footing to make full projects, the more I will have the proper footing to make full projects. So, I understand completely your sentiment. I agree with your sentiment. But let's not let that Debbie Downer us into not supporting the small projects. In fact, we need to use that energy to support the small projects. We have to plant the seeds before they can grow a tree. You understand me. I know you do. Now, as I was saying, this is the trailer for the A24 Backrooms movie. Let us see what they've got in store for us today.
I found something.
Okay. What did you find?
Found a place. It's massive in there. It just goes on and on and on. All these rooms. This place built though. But actually more like it remembers them. And the more times it remembers something, the less it does.
Woo-wee! That is our starting point. And hey, not too shabby. So yes, the Backrooms is not an SCP. We all know that. But people like Keter Labs, people like some studios, people like myself, we are all very interested about how the Backrooms movie goes, about the FNAF movies, about Iron Lung, because these are online horror projects. These are YouTubers, in the case of Markiplier, getting up there and making feature films with theatrical releases. This is a space. We are following the breadcrumbs people with intense interest. So, keep an eye on this, be seated, support these projects from our fellow communities. We're not here to fight. A big thing people get into with these online communities, it's got to be a zero-sum game. Oh, if you're getting views, then I'm not getting views, and so we're going to fight over it. No! A rising tide lifts all ships is the way YouTube has even worked. Even crazy assholes like the Paul brothers, they distract each other back and forth, causing their fans to bounce back and forth in the algorithm, boosting each other's views, boosting their profiles. When we all work together, we succeed. It's arts communism, people. We work together, we win. And so, Five Nights at Freddy's, the Backrooms, I am their #1 fan right now. I want to see what they do, and I want to see how we can help them and how they can help us. And I know you feel the same way because you're here with me, and we've talked about this so many times that if you didn't believe me on this, it would be very strange that you're still here. And even when they're bad, if it happens to be bad, there will be things we can learn. Things we can learn about the production process. Things we can learn about the actors chosen, the writing story that they wrote, the effects and what they did and what they didn't do. So even a failure is a learning opportunity. I would rather fail 100 times than to have never have tried. That is, it takes failing 100, 1,000 times to get good enough to do something well. You have to be willing to fail before you can succeed. No one succeeds on the first try outside of just some luck. It is hitting your head against the wall. That's true for art, that's true for film, that's true for writing, that's true for life, baby. All right. So with that, we have covered the news, we have covered the precursors, we have covered the subject of the stream. Let me take a look now at our general Q&A. First of all, catching with the Ko-Fi, because I saw a notification and I don't want to miss it. Dr. Dark Star, thank you for your first donation to today's stream, as well as being a member, and thank you for making the effort to donate through the Ko-Fi. As we all know, the Ko-Fi only takes 3% of your donation, and it has a higher character limit than YouTube Super Chats. YouTube Super Chats take 30% of your donation, the character count is lower, and the keyboard sucks for some reason. So, we appreciate you making the effort to go through the Ko-Fi. Grab yourself a loaf of garlic cheese bread on your way past the commissary. Hey Doc, so question. How would you contain the quiet rapture from Iron Lung if it was an SCP-001 proposal? So quite simply, that is not containable. That is an Apollyon SCP, just like when day breaks. The universe is over. We would basically be the congregation of Iron, the last people on a space station trying to research using D-Class. Basically put, that's the closest analog we have. It is an SCP scenario, just an end of the world scenario. Which, you know, means that Iron Lung the movie is a precursor to the When Day Breaks movie. Or furthermore, a deeper cut, what about the Acrophobia movie? The Apollyon spiritual successor to When Day Breaks. No one has said that but me, but I believe it. Where gravity one day inverted for all of humans and animals only, and so everything that wasn't nailed down or inside disappeared into space. And so now everyone has to live in upside-down houses, and they have to wear special weighted rigs to go outside to farm, otherwise they will be sucked up into the sky. Who thinks of these things? That's crazy and terrible. And the Acrophobia is, just for your edification, if you haven't read this, it's amazing. It is an amazing SCP. SCP-8654, Acrophobia, by Lizard Wizard. Containment class Apollyon. Wait, I never thought about Iron Lung like that. I am happy to educate you on this, Dr. Darkstar. This is what you get for spending 10 years plus in the SCP fandom. Everything's an SCP one way or another. Thank you again for that donation and the very interesting subject to speak on. I'm glad to illuminate that to you. Aflac, thank you for your first donation to today's stream, as well as being a member. Thank you for going through the Ko-Fi. Grab yourself some fried mozzarella on your way past the commissary. Crazy. I was crazy once. They put me in a room. A rubber room with rats. And rats make me crazy. I concur. Addendum. I'm not sorry for unleashing this mimetic. Well, at least the mimetic shielding is holding up, thank you, desk. Scarlet, thank you for your first donation to today's stream. Grab yourself a packet of red vines on your way past the commissary. Popping in before I sleep, good night, Sherm, bye. Well, good night to you. I hope you are properly sleeping well. Didn't sleep well last night. That's probably part of the reason why my defenses are down to the feeling like trash brigade today. Building Block, thank you for your first donation to today's stream. Grab yourself a Nuka-Cola on your way past the commissary. You mentioned Fallout and a couple Fallout channels in the previous stream. Ever watched Oxhorn? Well, yes, Fallout is a separate fandom that I happen to be a fair part of. Have I ever heard of Oxhorn? I am not familiar off the top of my head. I don't like typing in Oxhorn and seeing Oxhorn controversy. That's risky. The Oxhorn YouTube channel, 1.75 million subs. Good on you, buddy. Keep up the good work, I guess. Episode breakdowns of the series, which I did finish the series yesterday, season 2, so I am caught up now. I have never heard of this channel, I believe. This is all new. And after I do a little research, maybe I will check on them and see if I like their videos. Tyrone's Creations, thank you for your 5-month member message as a level 1 researcher here at Site 42. We appreciate your membership and your service. 5 months, wow. Hope you're doing well. Signed, Dr. A. Mask. Well, hold on. Pardon. You know, overall, I'm doing well. A little, but, you know, no one's perfect. So we'll consider today fine. Finally caught one of these streams. Love the SCP community and love these streams for keeping me interested in it. Well, in turn, as I am glad to hear that you enjoy our streams, I'm happy to put them on for people who are entertained by them. And yes, the SCP community is dope, which is how it maintains my interest after all this time. Trust me, I do not stick with one thing very often. The ADHD is a powerful drug, so SCP did a good job ensnaring me. Dr. Frogman, thank you for your 8-month member message as a level 1 researcher. We appreciate your membership and your service. And you say, Gallionic can't afford 15 minutes, let's go? Nice, because all of the goals are in euros, I can't see how many euros there are, and I didn't run a translation. But if you're saying that it is proper past the 15-minute mark, that's amazing. I love to see it. Now let's get it to 20. We're not done yet. If anything, a lot of people really seem to want this, quote, Ghost Stories dub, and we got a while to go before that, so the game is afoot. Silent Follower, thank you for sending a second cat ears that I didn't see earlier. So thank you for both cat ears eventually. I am sure that the Containment Hazard Assessment team was very entertained. Terragal, thank you for your first donation to today's stream as well as being a member. Grab yourself a Mr. Pibb and Red Vines equals crazy delicious on your way past the commissary. Log, I've lost track of how long I've been trapped in the cat-made waifu dimension with no escape and no rescue. I'm starting to understand them. Help. Oh no, that is not a good sign. You need to get out of their stat. All right. Well, spatial anomalies, interdimensional, that means I need to call on Mobile Task Force. Lambda 5, the White Rabbits, are going to be your salvation here. They are very well versed with spatial anomalies, and that includes going into the cat-made waifu dimension. Don't worry, we'll get you out of there. Do not accept the catnip. You don't want to go down that road. Alright, returning to the chat, double checking the notifications. All clear? All clear. I made you some fan art with SCP-3086 and sent it to you on Instagram. Don't worry, I made sure to decontaminate them properly. Oh, wow. I rarely check the Site42 Instagram. In fact, I'm not even sure if I am able to log into it on desktop here. I don't know that my password is on this device. What I would recommend instead is if you want it shown on stream, you can send it to the Site42 artwalk@gmail.com if it's a Fan Art Friday kind of thing, if you want it shown on a Friday. Or if you don't want it shown on a Friday, you can just send it to my business email, which is in the pinned chat, the Site42 support beacon, beacons.ai/Site42. Dr. Sherman, Kickstarter is a tool to convert the dollars donated to euros. It's the dollar sign in the middle circle that's made of 2 curved arrows. Ah, there's the conversion. Beautiful. Oh, and as I'm looking at it, it just popped over $180,000. Another donation, 2 donations came in. So they are at 152,000 euros. And yes, I believe it was 145 for the 15-minute. Yes, so we are at 15 minutes, moving up to 210. 210k euros to dollars is $247,283.40. So we want them to get 247,284 to get the 20 minutes. Hey, we're en route. Just keep up the good work, guys. You got plenty of time left. Dr. Sherman, I love your content. Bless your Shower Thoughts series. Well, thank you, intern Sam. The Shower Thoughts series is soon to make a comeback. What's happening right now with production of non-streams? First of all, daily streams has been a lot of work. Depending on how long a day it is, it's still yapping with you guys like this. I can see why people play games and give themselves something to like focus on, because whew, you guys throw a lot at me. It's fun. I love it. I love acting. I love improv. But it is quite a brain strain. And so I'm still working on upping my cardio and fitness post-injury to the point where I have the energy to film after streaming. But we're getting there. We're getting there bit by bit. The rehab is going well. I was just at leg day at the gym today and definitely doing a lot better than when I started last month. Has SCP-3086 ever entered the real world in a Who Framed Roger Rabbit type fashion? Intern Drawsome, I do not recollect that happening. But it is true that SCP-3086 does not have a lot of tails on the SCP database. It is possible that that could be a function of George's anomaly if the right combination of anomalies were involved. Because there are plenty of anomalies like the bookends that can put you into fiction. So if something pulled George out of fiction, I'm sure that would go very poorly for us. Did I hear a jingle jangle? Well, the jingle jangle was at the start of stream where we showed the Backrooms trailer. Dr. Sherman, does the Foundation really allow dyed hair, or did it happen because of a test? Intern Enzo, I'm the site director of Site 42. What I say goes for the dress code. And when I say goes for the dress code, you're allowed a little fashion. It's good for staff morale. Can you explain SCP-4513? Intern Kartik, I don't remember 4513 off the top of my head. But, actually, I think I do. Yes! You want me to explain SCP-4513, codename Pounded in the Butt with Moby Dick by my IRS W-2 tax form. Yeah, that's kind of the one I thought you were going for. So, actually, this anomaly is quite simple to explain. The description is actually quite short. SCP-4513 is a Brushmaster brand large drum wood chipper. It's just an anomalous wood chipper. But, of course it's anomalous. What happens is if you put any printed literary media, a book, a pamphlet, a newspaper into it, then the wood chipper will not turn that into shredded paper. It will turn it into a watery, milky substance. When gathered and poured onto another work of media, it takes the wood-chipped media and transforms the media you've put it onto, essentially merging the two. And so when we tested this, we tested it using a control of researcher Andrew Thompson's IRS W-2 tax form, which a lot of people, just as a side tangent, a lot of people ask all the time, does the SCP Foundation pay taxes? No, the SCP Foundation does not pay taxes. We are a private organization hidden from the governments of the world. Now, our front companies have to pay taxes because they are supposed to look legitimate so they don't get investigated. And of course, our staff members have to appear like they are normal people in the field, in the world. So they have cover jobs sometimes. And those cover jobs do require them to pay taxes. So they're not paying tax on their income from the foundation, but they are paying tax on their cover jobs. My cover job as a ballroom dance instructor, I still pay taxes for that, but I don't pay taxes for my work with the foundation. Now, so all of that tangent aside, we used Andrew Thompson's IRS W-2 tax form, and we applied to it Liquid from Moby Dick by Herman Melville, Julius Caesar by William Shakespeare, and because you do things in threes when you're doing a good joke, Helicopter Man Pounds Dinosaur Billionaire Ass by Chuck Tingle. And so, if you're unfamiliar with the works of Mr. Tingle, they are very comically subjected romance novels. And so that is why Pounded in the Butt with Moby Dick by my IRS W-2 tax form is the title of that article. Is the hair color the result of an XCP experiment or your choice? It's not a test. It is just the on-site stylist is really good. And I like having a little pop of color. Have you seen my shirts? Get out there. Don't be so bland. A lot of y'all out there, if someone isn't dressed like Dr. Gears, you're acting like it's all crazy or something. Live a little. Didn't we just answer that? Yeah. But also, I'm a little sensitive to it right now. Not because anyone insulting me about my hair, questioning about it is a problem, but because over on the Facebook, where people are being dicks right now, everybody who's mad that I mentioned pronouns is also mad that I have colored hair. It's kind of ridiculous. Furthermore, just again, it's very funny that there's a bunch of chuds on Facebook, a bunch of boomers, a bunch of MAGA douchebags who normally get mad at you if you ask them to use your preferred pronouns. But now that I'm saying the foundation will not respect the pronouns of anomalies, we won't respect your pronouns, and now you're mad at me? Which side are you? Now they're woke. Now you're woke because you're mad at me. And I was talking to Synth about this earlier, and here's talking about the real world for just a moment. Part of the problem is there's a lot of people out there who are just kind of dumb, and that's not bad on its own. I'm kind of dumb sometimes. But there are a lot of people who never learned that being wrong doesn't make you a bad person. When you're doing art, you learn to fail before you succeed. You do something wrong, and then you're corrected and you learn to do it right. Trust me, when you're an actor doing auditions, you fail constantly. Constantly. I have gotten so few auditions that I've gone for. That's just the numbers game. So you kind of get that feeling beaten out of you. But a lot of people never do that. And if you tell them they're wrong, they think they're a bad person. They take it personally. And because the human brain doesn't like considering itself to be a bad person, remember, everyone's the hero of their own story. Well, if they're not a bad person, then that means they're not wrong. And if they're not wrong and you're correcting them, that makes you wrong. And if you're wrong, then you're a bad person, not me. Don't tell me what to do. And so, yes, half our problem is that if you tell these people what to do, they will always disagree because they don't like being told what to do. Consider that in your daily life and see if you have a better time handling these people. Popping back, I want to check my notifications since I've been on a tear for a minute. Woescom, thank you for sending your first donation of today's stream as well as being a member. Grab yourself some Pocky on your way past the commissary. Found out who dumped SCP-008 in the water. It was the Chaos Insurgency. Well, that does sound like them. But normally, they, again, villains of their own story, they tend to think they're moral and they target their attacks at us. So, if they're targeting a civilian populace, The likely reason for that is they're expecting us to run our resources thin, trying to contain that so they could raid one of our bases. So let's run a circle the drain strategy where all of the local teams converge to protect the civilian populace, while all of the next range out converge to protect the sites that we abandoned there. That could give us enough forces to stop the CI from raiding our bases while still protecting the civilian populace. Silent Follower, thank you for your first super chat of today's stream, as well as being a member. Grab yourself some cotton candy on your way past the commissary. Hair so floofy. Yep, it was a shampoo and conditioner day because I was leg day at the gym, and so, ooh, you sweat like that, you gotta wash your hair. So, floofy day indeed. Also, my first thought when I saw the Iron Lung was Cosmic Eldritch Horror, so awesome. Well, yeah, I'm 99% sure that's what they were going for, so it's good that it came through. Also, if you didn't see it, Markiplier just did an interview with YouTube, a blog interview, written interview, talking about what it's been like since the movie's come out. Very interesting stuff. You should go hunt it down if you're interested. Also, Markiplier, if you see this, go be in Keter Labs' Containment Breach the movie and my Containment Breach with Markiplier, the Choose Your Own Adventure in Space with Markiplier, but SCP. Do it. You don't have to do it, but it would be great if you did it. We'd have fun. We'd chat. It'd be fun. Sleepy Hum, thank you for your first donation to today's stream. Grab yourself a bowl of chili on your way past the commissary. 3 hours. 3 hours to find SCP-062. Because no one considers it a computer anomaly, even though the forum says it's a personal desktop computer. That's interesting. 062, you say? Codename Quantum Computer, personal desktop computer. It is tagged as computer in the tags. Is there a... Yeah, if you check the tags at the bottom, then it is tagged as computer and electronic. That's about as best we get in those scenarios. But, I mean, maybe just the way you were searching didn't work out. I understand that. Searching this database can be tricky at times. Woescom, thank you for donating again to say, I will give SCP-72... Die! SJ! Oh, this better be good. This better be worth it. To not Chaos Insurgency spy. Why do they want it? For what purpose? Intern Maria, we contain SCP-067 by putting it in a box. It is, after all, just an anomalous fountain pen. Not very difficult to contain at all. Intern Cody, thank you for sending a bronze medal to today's Containment Hazard Assessment team. I am certain that the Containment Hazard Assessment team will continue to strive for silver and gold at your urging. Mike and Stuffs, thank you for sending a torch to today's Containment Hazard Assessment team. I am certain it will light their way to greatness. Please explain SCP-3312 for me. Intern Brabant. It's not that complicated of an SCP. It is a meme on the internet that was created with the express purpose to turn people into furries. Now, the person who made the meme, who just wanted more friends who were furries, failed at making the meme to their exact specifications. And so it doesn't actually just make you interested in the furry fandom community. It also turns you into a rabid man-animal thing, which you don't actually transform, but you start mentally acting like a rabid animal, which is not great. And so we have to contain that, and thankfully, people who are furries already are immune to the meme, which means that the Mobile Task Furries, a mobile task force made of fursuited staff members with their tactical fursuits, are the ones we send out to contain anyone contaminated by that anomaly. See, that wasn't so complicated. Mike and Stuffs, thank you for sending 2 more bronze medals to today's Containment Hazard Assessment team. I'm sure they will continue to be thankful for the 3rd place award, but strive for silver and gold. Keep inspiring them. I am not a furry, so why am I immune? Intern Strain, I hate to tell you this, but maybe you just learned something about yourself. You see, I don't look at the meme because I know I'm not immune, because I am not a furry. And so I am not immune in any sense. I got to stay away from that cognitive hazard. Not because I would hate being a furry. Furries are cool. In fact, the amount of money they give to artists on the internet, furries are an artist's favorite thing to exist. But I do not want to turn into a rabid animal man. See, that part, not so good. Sleepy Humph, thank you for donating again to say. 5 pages listed under computer, most of them having computer R&D. I checked our Reddit friends, none said that. The tag you need to search is OS2. What? Are you looking at the proper SCP database? Because when I search SCP-062, and then I click on that computer tag, I mean, the amount of anomalies tagged under computer is 398 pages. So that definitely is more than the small amount you said. You might not actually be using the SCP Wiki proper. You might be on an offsite. I'm not even seeing an LMNO. I'm not even seeing an OSP tag on here. QRS, there is no OS. Oh, and by the way, just going back to people are trash on the internet, this reminds me. You remember when we were dealing with the 096 origin story a couple streams ago? And Dr. Frogman, I think it was, helped us to find the origin of this SCP-096 was created by SCP-1529. And we discovered that that was from SCP Explored, the YouTube channel. And then Dr. Bob and SCP Explained copied that story as if it were fact, even though it's not on the wiki anymore. Well, I also found someone linking it on a comment on a Reddit post. Very nice, Dr. Frogman. Good investigation. So I was linked a different 096 origin story the other day. And again, it was someone hating that I'm talking about pronouns because, oh, we know that it was originally a Korean man who was a depressed businessman and eventually became 096. And I was like, what? Where did you get the idea that 096 was a depressed Korean man? Because this definitely wasn't the Nepal Everest thing. This was a different origin story. They got it from Villains Wiki. Villains Wiki. They tried to mic drop me on SCP canon using Villains Wiki. You're kidding me. You're kidding me. That is the skateboarder grinding a rail slipping and busting their nuts of trying to correct me on the internet. It's the funniest thing that's happened in a long time. Gave me a good laugh. True God Fox, just to be clear, the pronoun parlance protocols is not being ragged on Twitter. It's on Site42 Facebook. But yeah, that was a trip. That was very funny. Now, once again, I do want to dig into the wiki and see if I can find anything about 096 being Korean, but I've never seen anything like that on the database. Maybe we're wrong. Maybe Villain's Wiki is the one true thing. And by the way, your name was Brabant. Brabant, you wanted to know where we searched for SCP database information. That is the one true SCP Foundation wiki, which is scpwiki.wikidot.com. The thing is, the SCP Wiki is not a wiki in the traditional sense of the word. In the traditional sense of the word, a wiki is typically a fan-made repository of knowledge about a property. So the Marvel Wiki is fans getting knowledge of Marvel and combining it to make a little encyclopedia of that knowledge, separated from the Marvel canon and the comics and films. The SCP Wiki, however, scpwiki.wikidot.com, is the actual source of SCP lore. It is where all the SCP authors write the stories. And so when you go to the SCP Wiki, you're not looking at fan works, you're looking at the actual canon. Because we are in the middle of that media line where we're a fan fiction site that has ascended to a media property and IP. So everything someone writes is automatically canon if it's on the proper website. Now, that means, of course, that Fandom Wiki, Villains Wiki, all those offsite wikis, those are non-canon, but they might compile true information. Sometimes they don't. Sometimes they just add fan fiction for some reason. Terragal, thank you for donating again to say, I'm finally free. Thanks for sending the mobile task force. Now to find out who replaced my door with a dimensional rift that leads to that place. Hey, that could get us pretty back and forth quickly for handling the situation. Can you keep that door open? Songs of the Pack, welcome to Level 1 Researchership here at Site42. We appreciate your membership and your service. Sleepy Humph, thank you for donating again to say, it's the proper forum, meant for, and I forgot that tag is different than searching. I did not remember the name of the SCP. OS/2 warp is the specific thing you need to search to actually find 062. I see. Yes, when you're doing the search, that would mean that you need to find the term that is unique to the SCP. Otherwise, you'll get every SCP that includes the word. If you search for computer on the SCP database, now we just found out there was what, like 400 tagged pages? But if I just search the word computer, then I get, there are 3,134 pages on the database that include the word computer. Even if I went back and added the word personal computer, that would take it down to 1,131. So, yes, I agree that is a very inefficient way to search for what you're looking for. Dr. Sherman, what do you think of the SCP and Backrooms-inspired short film called SCP The Hallways? If you haven't seen it, watch it on YouTube. Also, what is your favorite unique SCP concept? Well, intern Greg, first of all, I do not recall hearing of this SCP Hallways thing. This might be news to me. Zero budget SCP-inspired short horror film, The Hallways, on Ephraim TV. Gotcha. Gotcha. February 2025. SCP The Hallways, released 10 months ago. It is a, wow, 54-minute action film. It seems to be a little, all right, I see some discussion in the lab. Here, I'm gonna full screen this so you guys can see my skim. So let me first turn off my, well, I'm not gonna play it, so I'm just gonna leave the ambiance on. Yeah, we're not gonna watch a 54-minute movie with me having to hold the phone up like this. That would be terrible. So yes, we're looking at some things on a screen. Establishing shot. We're going into a house, and probably the house is going to lead to the spatial anomaly. There we go. Hey! That's not the Backrooms. That's the Stanley Parable. This is the story of a mobile task force agent named Stanley. And Stanley went left to go to the meeting room. They're wandering around, they're pointing their guns, they found the break room, got on the phone. They're all pointing their guns at these guys. The special effects on those guys' faces looks pretty good. I like that. They're gonna get in a fight. They're getting some sort of log on a computer. So if this were on the database, then it would come up in that search we just did. I thought the way he was placed in front of that for just a split second, I thought that he had made it to an exterior dimension of some sort. Man, when they said no, what the hell? All right, so I was going to say when they said no budget, they meant it, because you can see the varying quality of their mobile task force tac gear. Not that I'm judging them. I appreciate low budget. I'm just pointing it out. But then we go to the ball pit, and regular proportion Slender Man has arrived. Regular proportion Slender Man has arrived. Not so Slender Man is here in the back room. Stanley Parable Jingle Jangle. Honestly, this is kind of incredible. So the ball pit room. That's a Fallout reference. We got a Fallout reference, everybody. I'm immediately back on board. Oh, we're going to IKEA. Can't believe that these guys have not been sued yet. Oh shit, man. Yeah, they literally went into an IKEA, or at least a warehouse that kind of looks like an IKEA somewhat. Yeah, that's not an actual IKEA. Uh-oh. They got another kind of Slender Man. Another kind of Slender Man, but these are the IKEA employees. Square up, guys. Square up. Take him down. Take him down. They're still running. Uh-oh. Ah, they don't like noise. That is not in the logs. I'm not familiar with that weakness of the employees. But we had a survivor in the IKEA, bringing them back to another base of survivors.
Temperature stays the same, and
Oh, I feel like that guy. That's the me of this show right here. That's just exactly right.
Or more.
Can we leave this?
Please.
You know what? Overall, they promised a low-budget adventure, but at least from what I'm seeing, I like what they're shooting for. Is it the best thing in the world? No, but again, we plant the seeds and then get better. Let me leave a little comment to say hi. Just got showed this by a member of my containment hazard assessment team. CH And gotta say, after a quick skim, I like the moxie of your production here. Definitely going to have to give it a watch. Correct the spelling error and comment. Okay, well, SCP Containment Hazard Assessment Team. The channel at hand is called Ephraim TV, and they are called SCP Hallways 2025, backroom-inspired live-action film. So if you want to give this a watch from our little preview here, you can go give it a check. Last thing I'm going to check. Note, I make no money from this project. This was all made by love and passion. Well, I'm not going to fault you for making money. I mean, you did do IKEA, so they'd get really mad at you. And the Backrooms, I don't know if you have the right to do that. But SCP, please make money so you can make more things in the future. They didn't mention the Creative Commons, it seems like. But, you know, these low-budget teams, they often don't know the full ins and outs about the SCP community, so I don't get mad at first. I would just want to tell them and warn them. Furthermore, since they're not making that much money on it, probably they just aren't worried too much like that. It seems like they're using a lot of... well, I don't know if that music is royalty-free or not. It seems like it's not royalty-free by what they're saying here. They're quoting inspiration from Mandela Catalog, Dollhouse, Overlord, The Backrooms, and the Infinite IKEA. Cool. Have they made anything else in the last year since this? SCP The Backrooms official promo feature film announcement 2 months ago. Oh. Okay, feature film. Are you still going non-profit then? Our last film was created with $1,500. That's a pretty low budget for a 50-minute short. Good work, team. The AI images you see is only meant for purpose for you guys to see the visual I have. There's a lot more that will go in this film prior to what you see. Gotta be careful with the AI stuff, guys. Don't go too far down that path. You're gonna get the SCP community real mad at you. Our last film budget was $1,500. I am almost done exploring this video, and then I will pop back to chat. On a quick skim, I don't see what they're asking for this one. They want to make a rated R movie. Tell me about your budget. I want to know now. It seemed like they mentioned their last budget was $1,500, but they don't mention what this one is going to be. But maybe maybe if I actually watch it later, I'll find out. So I'll check that out later on. Okay, popping back to the chat, seeing what I missed. We are currently at the 1 hour mark, team. Based on how much time I just spent looking at that, I will say we are zesty enough I can make it 30 more minutes. So I can take a little more Q&A before we end for the day. Just clearing and refreshing the chat. Terragal, thank you for donating twice. More to say. Yes, I'll keep the door open. And good. B, can I throw 7 to 9? Dash J. Into the cat-made waifu dimension. No! We don't want that thing loose. Put it back in its box where you found it, or so help me. Can you show us the hand spider? Intern Casey, unfortunately the floating hand spider is over at the super cool petting zoo. It is not in my office. But if you want to head over to the super cool petting zoo, you can check it out over there. Do we still have to refrain from using preferred pronouns for Hariti class anomalies, or is it okay to use pronouns that they prefer? Intern Griffith, I'm going to have to know what a Hariti class anomaly is, though. That is an object class I have actually never heard of. A comprehensive list of object classes. Open up all of the unfolds and search Hariti. Hariti. Item is a member of Foundation personnel whose anomalous characters require no containment measures not already satisfied by their duties in posting. Intern, I believe that was that Griffith? Yes, Griffith. As I've answered that question multiple times on this channel, if a Foundation anomaly containment proves their loyalty to be promoted to staff, then they are given their pronouns back. We have addressed that in the past, just while not bringing up the Hariti class item, which apparently only refers to SCP-2670-JP, as well as SCP-8141. Returning to the chat. What's your favorite SCP? Intern Toys. I always tell you guys my favorite SCPs at the end of stream. It's a tradition around these parts. So if you want to wait till end of stream, that's going to be in about 27 minutes. Or you can just donate and ask me to say it, and I'll say it for that in return. Or you can cheat, go to yesterday's stream, watch the end where I say it. It's up to you. Hey, Dr. Sherman, I had a concept for a video log version of SCP-3086's containment breach, 3086's containment breach, where Dr. Sherman, rather than just talking like George, actually turns into George. What do you think? I think that's one of the scariest goddamn things I've heard in my life. And by God, in this case, I mean SCP-029-J, codename Uber Driver Jesus, so that it can drive me as far away from possible from that scenario. But if that's a film or an animation or something you want to make, I will bite the bullet and watch it because you made some art and that's cool. But I don't like it as a concept. I would rather not be a jaunty teal chinchilla who causes havoc across the world stage. Is SCP-729 dangerous? I always forget what SCP-729 is. The anomaly at that designation codename Marble Bath is a large bathtub carved from marble. Items oh yeah, this is the bathtub that if you sit in it, then it makes you not want to get out, and eventually you die. So yes, SCP-729 is dangerous. Dr. Sherman, would you be mad if I might have opened the hard-to-kill reptiles containment cell and accidentally left it open? Yes, Intern Harris. I would be very angry if you did such a thing. Did you do such a thing? Intern Dash, welcome to Site 42 staff. Thank you for subscribing. Well, I did. Well, Intern Harris, I'm going to need you to go back and close that door. And whatever lizard you may encounter on the way, that's between you and your god, who won't be as much help considering that we contain most of the gods, so you're not actually going to get a lot of help in that sense, but maybe it'll comfort you in your last moments. Intern Bushy, thank you for your first donation to today's stream. Grab yourself some jalapeno poppers on your way past the commissary. Chaos Insurgency just stole my coffee cup. I'm going to strangle each and every one of them with my bare hands. Where was your coffee cup? Was it... Are you on site right now? They didn't raid a Foundation site just to steal your coffee cup. They must have done something else. What? How special was your coffee cup? Was it like a cup of infinite coffee? I might steal it if it's a cup of infinite coffee. I need more details about this. This doesn't make sense so far. Dr. Sherman, what's up with Apollyon class SCPs? Because how are they so big? Well, it's the other way around. Because the Apollyon anomaly is so big and world-ending, that's why it's classified Apollyon. Apollyon basically means world-ending and has happened. Most of the time, anyways. Intern Bushy, thank you for donating again to say, it was my dad's coffee cup and I left it in my car. Was it anomalous in any way? Why does the Chaos Insurgency want your coffee cup? That doesn't necessarily make a whole lot of sense for them. Did it have sentimental value? Are they holding it for ransom from you? Did it have powers because of your attachment to it? Did you have powers because of your attachment to it? What's going on here? I saw a Ko-Fi notification. Let me get that before I forget it exists. Rave Haven, thank you for your first donation to today's stream as well as being a member. And thank you for making the effort to go to the Ko-Fi. As we know, it only takes 3% of your donation, where YouTube Super Chats take 30%. So we appreciate you making the effort. Grab yourself a margarita pizza on your way past the commissary. Warning to all staff, Dr. Gerald has been spotted on site. Lock all vehicles to prevent any catastrophic incident. You heard them! You heard them! Lock up the vehicles. Close the motor pool. Do not let Dr. Gerald get anywhere near it. This is our site-wide Apollyon threat, basically. Where on YouTube can you learn more about SCPs? I don't know what's lore accurate, needed for research purposes. Intern Soundwave, you want to go here, of course. You want to go to the Vulgan. You want to go to Mr. Illustrated, Raddiger, R-A-D-D-A-G-H-E-R, Dr. Cimmerian, C-I-M-M-E-R-I-A-N. Those 4 channels alongside me all interface with the SCP Wiki directly. We are the closest YouTube source to the SCP database. Oh, and the Exploring series. The Exploring series is pretty damn accurate too. Rising Sun Gamer, thank you for your first donation to today's stream. Get yourself a bao bun on your way past the commissary. Hey, have you found that cola machine from the 1940s that never runs out and no one restocks it and somehow the prices change as time goes on? Is this an actual SCP or is this an anomaly that you know about? We have a lot of anomalous soda pop. We have Diet Ghost. We have the Uber caffeinated Coke. We have a lot of anomalous soda, so I need more information. Delta and Steven Tambari. SCP Explained, if you're going to go with those animation channels, they are among the least bad, but they do just make up a lot of stuff sometimes. So you got to double check everything you see from them, because when they play with their hypotheticals, they are not going by database rules all the time. Same with Dr. Bob. Not the worst, but still double check your sources. Obviously, if you want the actual accurate lore, go to the SCP database. The SCP Wiki is right there. You look it up there. That's the source of the lore. Intern Bushy, thank you for donating again to say. Mildly anomalous. Made coffee perfectly sweet. Oh, okay. I don't want to touch that then. I like my coffee black. I like my whiskey neat, a coffee black, and my bed at 3. So, I guess maybe someone considered them. What do you do on site? Is there a reason they chose to specifically inconvenience you? What's your job around here, Bushy? I didn't know that. I think it's mostly because I like the narrator a lot. Well, Delta, when you talk about Explained, hell yeah. Hunter is freaking a cool guy. Had lunch with him when I was down in LA one time. Very neat. Furthermore, Hunter is voicing in some studios' SCP Gallionic, otherwise known as SCP the Anime. And so Hunter, no one hate on Hunter. I got nothing bad to say about Hunter whatsoever. They're writers and the way they do business. Sometimes, even Hunter agrees, sometimes the way they write and do business can be a little, ugh. But not every job is perfect. Can you list out the SCPs you've written about and created? Intern Drossum, I would direct you to my SCP author page, the Sherm's author page in Site42 Hub, a link to which is available in the Site42 support beacon, beacons.ai/Site42. There you can see my author page as well as all the social media we're on if you want to follow us elsewhere. I'm a fraud. Who the heck is Hunter? 049, Hunter is the voice actor for SCP Explained, as well as in some studios SCP Gallionic, and has his own YouTube channel that's very popular. What is the name of Hunter's channel desk? I always forget. So that's Hunter's main page. That's Hunter. Because he has like some meme page that has like 1 million subs or something. Can't find it. Annoying. Ah, yes, the voice and host of Limonade. Limonade is the name of the channel I was looking for. Limonade YouTube, if I remember correctly, is a rather large channel. That's the hashtag. Ah, he's changed it to Memonade, but it's 1.77 million subscribers, so Hunter's doing okay out there. He's Limonade? Yes. Yes, surprise, Hunter from SCP Explained is Limonade. I just blew chat's mind. I can see it. This is great. This is not exactly what I thought I'd be teaching you guys about here, but hey, any education's good education. Okay, I am popping back to the chat, and let's make sure my notifications are all clear. Rave Haven, thank you for donating again to say, alert to all staff, Dr. Gerald has a tank. To the task force agent that forgot to lock it, take care of it. Everyone else report to emergency shelter. Well, I gotta finish this stream, but we're 14 minutes to finish, so I just hope that Gerald is on the far side of the situation about it. Ember Vamp, thank you for sending a bronze medal to today's Containment Hazard Assessment team. I am sure that the award they will be proud of the third place, but still hankering to work their way to silver and gold. Thank you for encouraging them. Songs of the Pack, thank you for your first donation to today's stream, as well as becoming a newly minted member. Grab yourself a chocolate croissant on your way past the commissary. Hey, Doctor, we're requesting Mobile Task Force Epsilon 11 at Site 19. Well, we got a lot going on today, man. You know, nope. Okay, they got to handle Washington first, so you're going to have to wait. So hold out as best you guys can. Bushy, thank you for donating again to say, Facility Security Sergeant. So if you were exhausted because you didn't have your coffee, then the Chaos Insurgency could more sneakily enter through your wing that you guard, meaning, okay, I want you to take the day off. I want you to personally hunt down that base of Chaos Insurgency people and get your coffee cup back. We will bolster defenses at your gate to make sure that they do not sneak in under your sleepy watch. The Ant, thank you for sending a couple of bronze medals to continue to encourage the Containment Hazard Assessment team to vie for silver or gold. And then thank you for sending multitudinous 100s, 17 100s. I am sure with that much encouragement, the Containment Hazard Assessment team will remember to keep it 100. Intern Warped, thank you for your first donation to today's stream. Grab yourself a hot pickle on your way past the commissary. And you did not send a donation with your, or did not send a message with your donation, so simply thank you for your generosity. Intern Bushy, thank you for donating again. SCP Black Site Zeta Collab when? Also look up ZCA 001. I am not familiar with anything you just said. SCP Black Site Zeta. Black Site Zeta, also known as Zeta Asylum Roleplay, is a Roblox roleplay game inspired by SCP Foundation. So, unfortunately for that collab's chances, I don't play Roblox. So that will not happen, most likely. I mean, there was a Roblox or a Minecraft thing for SCP that asked me to contribute a couple of voice lines to the server they were building. But I don't exactly remember what that was for. But hey, I like to help out little SCP projects for a fun time. Pimp. Are we back? Are we back? Trying to stabilize the signal. Okay. I'll bet that Gerald hit a Wi-Fi router with that tank of his, so we just had to bounce to another Wi-Fi router for the time being. Ugh! Whichever agent left that tank unlocked, oh, the things I am going to do to them. Pimp Demon, I was answering your donation when we got distracted. What if we put SCP-914 inside SCP-914 on Very Fine? Very funny. SCP-914 is ridiculously large. SCP-914 is ridiculously large. Therefore, it cannot fit inside of its own booth. So it's not something we can try. You said I can't have a tank and you gave one to Gerald. I didn't give one to Gerald. We are trying actively to take it away from Gerald. What do the official SCP Wiki people think of the Gary's Mod SCP RP servers? When it comes to the SCP Wiki, you're dealing with thousands of people. So SCP authors, SCP staff are not a monolith. I am sure there are some SCP people some super cool people, I might say, who enjoy those kind of things, and I'm sure there are some people who don't enjoy those kind of things. $369 Destroyer, thank you for donating for the first time today, as well as being a member. Grab yourself a savory crepe on your way past the commissary. Oats BK has been looking for his tank. Was it you who allowed Dr. Gerald to have the tank? Oats? Was it you? The irresponsibility today. Intern Harris letting out 682. Dr. Gerald getting a hold of a tank. Rave Haven, thank you for donating away again to say. The Wi-Fi thing was running from Gerald. Well, that's a worthy goal. Keep up with the Foundation Fitness Initiative so that your cardio is up to par, so that you can run longer and faster from threats such as this, or do the safety dance if you are well versed in the choreographed movements. SCP-3688 is there to protect you. Double checking the notifications here. Rave Haven, thank you for donating again to say. Notice to all staff, code green. Dr. Gerald just crashed the tank into the medical ward. Dr. Gerald was the only injury. That's actually very unlikely. If only for the fact that Dr. Gerald always has a very large amount of collateral damage, including done to human life. How did Gerald crash a tank into the medical wing and not kill a bunch of sick and injured staff members? Very curious. To be fair, they were already injured, so didn't count. That is not how it works. I was in the medical wing because I have a cold, and now my legs are broken because they were rode over by tank treads. We count those. Come on. The lax paperwork protocols are disgusting me. 5 minutes left in chat, team. 5 minutes left. Get your last minute questions in. Chat on this device is broken. Unfortunate. We are having some glitches today. Dr. Sherman, have you ever thought about making an SCP-3086 short film or pitching it to be in Containment Breach the movie? So I haven't specifically thought of a film or anything like that for George. Now, having George show up as a side cameo, as an anomaly that was being studied while something else goes on, that makes sense. You can do a backstory of George and go into how it exists, and I guess if you did the story of the Apollyon class GK end of narrative scenario, then that would make a apocalypse movie for George the Chinchilla, which could get really annoying with that many Georges running around. Dr. Sherman, according to intern Shoutout Cartoons, there's a new team making a continuation of SCP confinement. Is this something on our radar? Somewhat on our radar, yes. Let me go over and I can tell you what's going on. So, there is a new-ish YouTube channel. I mean, this last video was from a year ago. Do they have a, Yes, 2 days ago they dropped a teaser for a new episode. So what has happened is, this channel, this is a very long story. So, SCP Confinement, the SCP cartoon series made by Lord Bung, was taken down after Lord Bung got embroiled in catastrophe controversy after catastrophe controversy twice in a row. And so they ended up deleting the whole channel, deleting the episodes, but people have archived them, and this channel, called SCP Confinement, since the original is gone, they uploaded the episodes for archival purposes. Now, I think this has been done by several channels, but they are also getting animators to try and reboot the series. Now, personally, I think that's a tricky concept, because first of all, you're rebooting a property that was well beloved and then crash and burned due to a huge controversy. You're walking a tightrope dealing with that blowback that hit somebody else there. Also, Lord Bung had a very distinct art style and writing style. Most of their work was very good. There's even some things to be said for that episode 8 trailer that, yes, the internet jumped on it pretty hard and it was pretty cringe, but there was some redeemable things there. It's going to be very interesting to see how this new team, who is unrelated to Lord Bung and all, just kind of pick up someone's work and run with it. But the SCP community is Creative Commons. There's no rule that says that they can't pick up Confinement and run with it. So, we'll just have to see what they do. I am hesitant, and I haven't talked to their team, so I don't know what their plans are. So I'm just monitoring from afar right now. I see a notification here. Rave Haven, thank you for donating again to say. Misread the paperwork. There's definitely more than 3. Ask Dr. Evelyn Life for more info. Yes, okay, that makes more sense that there were injuries. Site 42 Containment Hazard Assessment Team. Number 1. Keep an eye on the blue names in chat. Blue name means moderator. Not only are they telling very funny jokes from time to time, but they are also warning you if you're breaking the rules. If you get banned because you ignored the moderators, that's your fault. Secondly, reminder that there are 87 of you currently in chat, sometimes as much as 150 of you. It's not possible for me to answer every question. And so sometimes I don't see your questions at all. Sometimes I see them and I'm not interested in answering them because they're not interesting to answer. So I'm sorry if I don't see your question or if I don't answer your question, but we do our best. If you really want answers, do a super chat, do a Ko-Fi. That's the only way to guarantee you get an answer here. In the same token, congratulations, Containment Hazard Assessment Team, for getting the likes higher than the view count. That is how we game the YouTube algorithm into bringing us more people, which means that we get more viewers, more people interested in the SCP Foundation, more artists who are like, what's this SCP thing? Maybe I'll make some art for it. And then we get bigger and better SCP projects along the way. So thank you for helping me to support the SCP Wiki and its authors, artists, animators, game devs, filmmakers, merch makers, podcasters, etc. Intern Angel, thank you for sending a 100 to today's Containment Hazard Assessment team. I'm sure they will remember to keep it 100. Haunted Researcher, thank you for your 6 months as a Mobile Task Force Captain here at Site 42. We appreciate your membership and your service. Hi, Dr. Sherman. How long has this stream been going, and what are we talking about today? This stream has been going on for 92 minutes, which means it is technically overtime. But we were talking about the Backrooms trailer that came out today from A24, as well as other SCP film things. It's been an interesting stream. You should watch the VOD. Angel, thank you for sending a bronze medal to today's Containment Hazard Assessment team. I'm sure they will keep striving for silver and gold. Someone said there was a hint at the end of chat after I asked if there was Site 42 Discord. I'm slightly confused. Intern Delta, that is the rule. We don't say where the SCP Site 42 Discord is. We just say, during the outro, you will hear a hint. Pay attention. It's almost outro time. Will you figure it out? It's an Easter egg hunt. You got to earn your way in. And you got to be over the age of 18, because SCP is a adult content site with a lot of gore and sexuality. So if the SCP Wiki only takes members 18 and up, so do the communities like the official Discord or our Site 42 unofficial Discord. Rave Haven, thank you for gifting a promotion to today's Containment Hazard Assessment team. Who got that promotion? That would be Z Punisher. Intern Punisher, now Researcher Punisher. If you are present in the chat, make sure to thank Rave Haven for their generosity. Whew. All right, Site 42 staff, we have made it to the end of stream, which means it's time for me to tell you my favorite SCPs. But of course, I'm not going to tell you my favorite SCPs are the ones I personally wrote. That would be narcissism. That would be cheating. But if you want to read the SCPs I personally wrote, you can go to the Sherm's author page in Site 42 Hub on the SCP database. There you can see the SCPs I personally wrote, as well as contributed voice lines or sound effects to. And while you are on my author page, one tab over from those SCPs that I wrote, there's some links. Some links that people often ask about, but then they're just not clever enough to find. It's very sad for them. But not you guys, not my Containment Hazard Assessment team. You guys are the clever ones who will find those links. And while you're at those links, you can become a patron or a YouTube channel member to support us monthly. You can do Ko-Fi or YouTube Super Chats to donate to us one at a time. Either way, we appreciate your direct donations to Site 42. They are the quickest way to keep the lights on for myself and the rest of the Site 42 staff. And if you do not have the money to donate because you're part of the broke gang, trust me, it's not a big deal. We understand. We're an arts community. We understand starving artists. But that's why you got to be an intrepid member of Mobile Task Force Sci 42, codenamed the Signal Boosters. When you are out there liking, sharing, subscribing, commenting, chatting, not just on us, but on the SCP projects we support, share them around so they get more eyes on them, more view on them. That is how we get big artists to be able to make SCP projects. That's how we keep them in the community. We give them engagement, we give them money, and they stay with us. When you comment, Dr. Sherman sent me to this channel, a Site 42 sent me, that makes them going to go, oh, this Dr. Sherman guy sounds like a cool guy I should chat with. And that's how we get the community networking together, supporting each other. So you guys' service is what makes all this possible. So we thank you for that emphatically. Now, without further ado, my favorite SCPs in no particular order are SCP-3999, SCP-3043, SCP-008-J, SCP-Spooky-J, SCP-5031, SCP-5175, SCP-5320, and SCP-8980. Content warning on that last one, it's a bit of a rough read. Speed round. 3999-3043-008-J, Spooky-J, 5031, 5175, 5320, 8980. Content warning on the last one, it's a rough read. Site 42 staff, this is another Coffee Break with Dr. Sherman, a subsidiary of the anomalous broadcast from Site 42. I hope you had fun. I hope you learned something. Be safe, be well, and as always, secure, contain, protect. I'll see you in the next video or stream, except there were a couple last-minute donations. Buddy, thank you for sending a laughing disco ball to today's Containment Hazard Assessment team. I'm sure they will get down on the dance floor very humorously. Voidster Animations. Good to see you in the chat, buddy. Thank you for your first donation to this today's stream to advertise what I think might be our new collab coming up. New animatic coming soon. Rubs hands. He. For those of you unfamiliar, Voidster Animations here is working on making an SCP animated series, and I am supporting them through the channel by commissioning animations of our most popular Site42 shorts, as well as advertising them on the channel like that. So, thank you to Voidster for your collaboration. I can't wait to see what you've cooked up. And if you are in the chat and you don't follow Voidster Animations, maybe go check them out. Whew! So with all that, be safe, be well, Site42 staff, and as always, secure, contain, protect. I'll see you in the next video or stream. Alone between the sheets only brings exasperation. It's time to walk the streets, smell the desperation. At least there's pretty lights, although there's little variation. It nullifies the night from overkill. Day after day it reappears. Night after night my heartbeat shows the fear. Ghosts appear and fade away. Come back another day. The credit song is Overkill by Colin Hay. Be safe, be well, Site42 staff, and as always, secure, contain, protect.